And Bianca, it's important for you to be kind of sweet, but it's got to be a little bit of a fakey sweet, right? And in the end, you're kind of shrewish. The men, I think most of the other men, you're kind of shallow, right? Petruchio seems shallow. You guys are shallow. Let's see. What are some other characters? Yeah. All right. Does that help you guys? Does that really help? You got any thoughts or other questions, moms? Any comments, questions?
I really love how you connect it to Jesus and the bride of Christ, and I think Sadie, that will help you a lot in playing the part of Catherine. If you can view it from, if you can think of Petruchio being like Jesus wooing you, and you recognize, wait, there's something there in him that makes me want to be something better than I am.
Yeah. I mean, so you got, again, if you go back to the disciples, you know the disciples had to be bewildered at Jesus, right? I think one of the things I get from the Gospels is they're constantly bewildered. Like, my favorite is Peter. He's the class pet, right? Teacher's pet. Well, what do you say? You're the Messiah, Jesus. Right? He says, that's right, and he gives him high praise. And then Jesus says, and I got to go to the cross, and Peter says, oh no, Lord, that shouldn't happen to you. And then Jesus says, get behind me, Satan. Don't you think Peter had to be a little bewildered? Like, one minute he calls me the rock, and he's praising me, and the next minute he's chewing me out, calling me Satan? I think that was very bewildering, and it seems like, I think maybe at times I thought Jesus is just being mean. He loved Peter. And he was trying to call Peter up to, one day you're going to take up your cross, right? And so I think, yeah, just to underline that point, I think we have to appreciate how Jesus really loves us, and sometimes he's hard. Your parents love you, and sometimes they're hard. It's because they love you, right?
Anything specific for the other suitors?
I think they should be kind of buffoons. I mean, you know, they have their schemes, but they're kind of, again, at the end, they got what they've chosen, right? You know, they want the pretty wife on their arm, not a woman who's a match for them, who has character. And so they're kind of shallow. And by the way, I mean, I think that's a lesson too, right? You guys, hopefully we'll get married one day. Do you pick the good-looking guy, the good-looking girl who's just about looks, or do you look for somebody whose character is really something? I think a lot of times guys pick a pretty face, not a woman who'll be a match for them. Does that make sense? And vice versa, probably. So I think there's all kinds of stuff in there.
It seems like every time the suitors are saying it's like, fair, sweet Bianca, like that's all they see, the shallow face, and she seems sweet.
Yep. Yep. And they're not going to call her out for saying, you know, you're a little picky. you need to, you know. Yeah. So, and again, I think that's illustrated by the fact that Petruchio and Kate don't change costumes, or they don't fake, right? Everybody else, they're putting on masks. They're changing their identities, all right? And just changing costumes, just like in the beginning of the story, ultimately the beggar guy, the swineherd, he goes back to being a swineherd. Changing his clothes don't ultimately change the man, right? Just pretending doesn't